Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Daryl here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to review episode 4 of The Walking Dead Season 11.
My God. First off, let's talk about the introduction to the Pope. Was it what you expected as far as the demeanor of how he conducted himself? And was it unexpected, their kind of mythology as he was explaining kind of like their origins and roots and things like that?
Both, right?
Yeah.
Unexpected on the theology, because you're talking about...
More on the God aspect, not the military aspect.
Yeah, worshiping God, and you're stringing people up by their feet down a road.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't know if those people are dead or not, but his demeanor... I expected that. I expected him to be a little bit of more of a ruthless leader. And he certainly showed it.
Yeah. It's funny when you see, not funny, but it's interesting when you see these type of leaders and how brutal they are to be able to have the people following them act the same way. Now, I thought that this kind of touched home, I think, in reality a little bit when they were talking about their military background. We know throughout history that there's been a lot of cases of, soldiers fighting for countries, especially here in the United States. They come home. A lot of veterans don't have the care that they need. It kind of touched home because, I've known a few older friends and family members who they just didn't get the care. The veterans didn't get the care that they needed. They feel forgotten that they fought for their country. Their friends died for the country, and then they're forgotten when they come home.
It's bad here. It's really bad here. Unfortunately, it is unfortunate because those people fight for our freedoms. And I remember in college I did a paper actually on the rate of homelessness with regards to veterans, and it's alarming. And I actually was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go downtown and I'm going to interview a homeless guy.
Yeah.
And find out if this dude's a veteran.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I paid him some money. Sat down like for an hour, did an interview with him.
Cool.
Veteran, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
nice.
It's just it's unfortunate there, and I don't know. Maybe they've I've been out of college for quite some time now. Maybe they've improved the programs.
Yeah, I bet they have, and it's just it just hits home. I'm sure that any veterans out there, any family members who are military, this could hit home for a lot of our viewers. Hearing that kind of talk, but then you get into the evilness of that talk where they turned into mercenaries because they're like, okay, you don't care about us. Well, their whole mythology kind of, so to speak, is because they felt forgotten that they're going to try to, even before the fall, they started to become mercenaries. And then after the fall, all the laws are gone. They could do whatever they want. They got even more ruthless and brutal. And they're trying to instill that today, even though they only have 15 members now.
But you heard the Pope say the buzzword politicians a couple of times, and I think that's where we're going to see the motive for going after Maggie. Even though Maggie's not quite quote unquote a politician, but she is a leader, and maybe they think of that in one of the same. So my guess is, and I'm just taking a shot in the dark here, but my guess is that Pope and his followers purposely find settlements and take them down because for fear of this is the politician, this is the politics of it, that we have to have rebuild society to what it was. And maybe Pope and them don't want to go back to that, what it was.
That's perfect. That's exactly kind of what I picked up from it too. It was like, Maggie and Georgie were going around trying to fix and help communities back to the normal ways. Maggie's group was in Meridian. And when Maggie and Georgie were out, by the time they came back, Meridian was destroyed. So we don't know the reasoning yet why they attacked it, but you could go along the lines of maybe thinking they knew of Georgie, they knew of Maggie, not by name, but they just knew of what was going on, and they felt this is an attack on this new world. This is a politician trying to change things, which back before the fall or during the fall, these politicians failed us. And, and so they're like, we need to eradicate this and make it into what we feel this new world should be. It's a very interesting take with Pope and the Reapers. Still more to come. I mean, we're still in mystery on a lot of details. We're just theorizing kind of what we've gotten so far. We got a lot more in this past episode, so it was really cool to see that, and very frightening, especially at the end. We knew that dude was going to be killed.
Yeah, dude.
He kept moving around.
Yeah, we commented this on while we were watching the reaction, but the dude just kept circling around. Like anytime the Pope would come close to him, he'd move to like a different location. It was hilarious.
But that death scene, though, man, just
it was brutal.
Brutal.
Let's talk about Leah.
Yeah,
since we're on the discussion of the Pope and team.
Yeah, very interesting. We saw the teaser where Leah and Dog were standing next to each other. Daryl, we thought, was just facing an opposite direction. We didn't know that he was looking at them, but the interaction between those two, I mean, you could still see that there's still some attraction with each other. But Leah, from what we found out, she's always been a Reaper, but she was with that group from the military, because we know she had military background. She had the Salutis Fortudo, whatever it is, tattooed on her. So this was her brotherhood that she spoke about, and the soldiers that she spoke about. And Pope was kind of like, we let you go on your fishing expedition with your boyfriend. So the Reapers, I guess, were trying to find her when she was in this little cabin. And then when she said, I finally came home, that was like, yeah.
Yeah, but did she leave on her own choice? Like, did she want to leave because maybe she saw the brutal tactics before?
We didn't get that, really.
Because you kind of see the way that she looks at Daryl in a couple of moments. One, obviously, being the time that they locked both of them in the cabin and Daryl gets out, gets both of them out. You could make an argument that Leah maybe knew that was going to happen.
Probably.
But you could still see the look on her face of that split second of betrayal to Daryl. And then obviously you see the look of what the fuck is going on when the Pope burns the dude's face off.
Yeah.
So you got to wonder, did she initially leave the group because she didn't want to be a part of this?
Right.
And then just come back because of the loss of Daryl?
Yeah.
Maybe those feelings are going to start coming up the more and more she sees how ruthless this group is.
Well, I would imagine she already knows.
I'm sure she already knows, but like...
Because she kind of mentioned to Daryl, like, hey, if you don't tell me the information, my commander, he's not going to be very, either forgiving, or I can't remember the word she said, but he's not going to be patient with you. You know what I mean? She already knows.
She totally knows the ruthlessness of it, but
maybe during her time away, they got even more ruthless. That she's not maybe. I don't know.
Not just that, but like maybe that time away made her realize like this is what life could be like, rather than how long can I sustain being in this group?
Yeah.
When I've already experienced what it's like not to be in this group.
Yeah, I kept thinking now that, when we don't know how long Leah was away from the Reapers when we saw the flashback with her and Daryl. And then it's been so many years from that time, we figure maybe Leah immediately went back and joined them. We don't know that. We're kind of thinking it. So I wonder if Leah was part of the team that took out Maggie and her people. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think the timeline lines up to where she was with Daryl. Because Maggie was not home.
Maggie wasn't home yet. Yeah, we don't really know the timeline. You could be right. But
I think that it lines up. Well, I mean, it certainly is more evident that it lines up towards that than her being a part of that group during that time. But, it's unfortunate because I really, really want Leah to last, because I think her and Daryl actually make a really good couple.
They do.
I just don't see it happening now.
No, I mean, with everybody else, we know that we're wanting Daryl and Connie. The Daryl and Carol situation, you guys know that's never going to happen.
No.
But I think the Connie situation is still in people's minds, and we know that he loves Leah, and seeing her again, we don't know.
But he lied to her.
Oh, dude, let's talk about how this man is smart, and I think anyone in that situation would do that.
So, we all knew that Daryl was a talented hunter, a talented tracker.
Yeah.
And he uses those tactics, and he's a lot smarter than freaking people think. Like what we still don't know what he was doing.
I think he was counting the people. I think you mentioned it in the reaction. But towards the end, I think what he was doing with his fingers, I think he was counting people, and that's why he said there's only 15 of you.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's sick. So yeah, I loved it where, he's basically saying, I just met up with these people. I known them for 2 weeks. And then when we saw Frost getting captured and he said his name, at first we were like, no, don't say it. But then it's like, well, if you were with them for 2 weeks, you would know his name. And I loved how Daryl was giving him hints like, hey man, shut up. I don't know you. I should have left. And then of course Frost comes in. Yeah, we should have never trusted you. We shouldn't have given you no food. Like I loved it, even though Frost was getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
But I loved how Daryl turned it around to make them believe, or especially Leah, to believe him, to say, okay, he's not with the people. But just the amount of resources the Reapers are doing. Like, are you with that group? Is the woman the leader? Like they are relentless of wanting to take them out, which goes back to our first introduction where the guy said Pope marked you.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, and I'm liking the Reapers even more. I knew I would.
I do like them, but just
I don't think they're gonna last.
I don't think they're gonna last. How can they?
Yeah, there's only 15 of them.
But I do agree with you that Daryl loves Leah, but the fact that he was able to lie to her, maybe he sees that like. Well, do you think Daryl's gonna actually try and pull her away as this moves on, right? Like he's gonna try and convince her this is not the life. You need to come with me.
He's gonna do He's gonna do it, but very subtly. Because yes,
sorry, go ahead.
Well, because he's with the group now, we know that one guy and a couple of those other guys probably don't trust him.
No,
they think it's just, oh, this is Leah's ex-boyfriend. Let's bring him in. But Pope, I think from his test, he probably sees Daryl as like, yeah, this is my guy.
I think
and the others are going to get jealous.
But I think Pope is seriously miscalculating that.
Oh, for sure.
Well, we know that.
Well, unless he's playing, Daryl,
True.
really going to test him. Because in another later episode, I think it's episode 7, there's another synopsis where it says Pope tests Daryl's loyalty. So I think he's going to do it again.
Something tells me he's going to take Leah. He's gonna like put a gun to Leah's head.
Well, at first we were thinking, remember Connie? Maybe Connie gets captured somehow and they test loyalties, but they don't know anything about Connie, so it's like, how are you going to test their loyalty?
Exactly. She can't speak. So Daryl's just going to sit there and say, hey, I don't know this person.
Right.
Unless they're equipped enough for sign language.
Right.
They are military. And I don't know if you need to know that, but
yeah.
But just going back to the Daryl and Leah stuff, he can't broach that subject right now. He's not going to start saying, hey, you don't need to be with this group. I think he's going to pick his moments.
Yeah.
A moment like a face being burned of your fellow comrade is a good moment to start talking about it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, people were around and he couldn't say anything.
The good thing also about Daryl being, knowing the area, being a good tracker, is when maybe Leah's asking questions or the Reapers are asking questions where he came from, he will easily be able to name places that are not even close to Hilltop or Alexandria or anywhere, to make it known that, okay, he was over in this area or this area. And, we don't know if the Reapers know about Alexandria Hilltop yet. I'm sure it'll probably come up, but
no way.
But Daryl talking about the areas that he's come from, he will easily be able to not come anywhere close to our communities, which makes him just awesome. That's what we love Daryl, is he's going to be able to lie his way, but the reason he's lying is to keep his people safe.
Yeah.
Because he knows the brutality, because if they find out about Alexandria, they're attacking it with 15 people.
It's 15 people.
But the Reapers could use, which we've seen kind of in the trailers, they could use maybe a horde to attack.
Well, look, I mean, we keep saying these 15 people aren't a lot, but they're skilled. And sometimes it takes very low amount of skilled people to wipe out an entire force that's not equipped and for battle.
I'm trying to count our group when they first met the Reapers. I think maybe 10 of us.
But keep in mind, you're thinking of like the front face A-list actors that they only show on the show.
No, I'm thinking the group that was on the road, even the people who got look what they did at night to separate all of our group, and basically every one of them died almost, except for our main group.
And those are skilled fighters.
And I mean, Maggie was right. By the time that you know that they're there, you're dead. And she was absolutely right. Man, it was. I love these types of episodes. I love seeing specific single episodes to one story. I love jumping back and forth sometimes, but you got to get those episodes that the whole thing is just focused in one area, so you can give the context to make us as the viewer understand more what's going on. Because jumping back and forth, depending, you can get kind of confused. But with this, it was awesome.
It was awesome, but their ideology is out of whack.
Way out of whack. Yeah, whenever you start talking about religion type stuff, I mean, even Father Gabriel, Gabriel is still very, you could say he's more spiritual now than anything else, but he still speaks, God is not here anymore.
But I think he's more realistic to the situation.
Yes, he is.
Look, I believe in this. I do. I think he still truly does believe in God, but at the same time, he realizes the situation that he's in.
Oh, yeah.
And how that reflects upon his beliefs.
You've seen the progression,
right?
Or I would say that, for sure. I mean, Father Gabriel, from beginning to now, a lot has changed in his mind about God and his beliefs, dude. I mean, it's just it would do that to anyone.
Could you imagine a Pope and Father Gabriel
talking
conversation?
together? Oh, I would have seen that.
Do you think we're gonna get that? That would be freaking awesome if we got that.
That'd be cool.
Because here's someone that truly, truly believes in it, and then you could make an argument for Pope that maybe he doesn't truly believe in it. Well, he thinks he believes in it.
He thinks he does.
Yeah.
He thinks it's more of their ideology and a lot of his rage. He's formulating this theory about his own maybe version of God in his own mind.
You just hit it right on the nail, right?
Yeah.
He's creating his own version of God.
Right. Yeah. And
that's it.
And trying to tell his own followers this is how God is acting and doing. I think that would be amazing. Father Gabriel and Pope talking together. It would, because you would think Gabriel's going to probably say some things that are say he might agree with the Pope a little bit, but then come back to the Father Gabriel we know.
And it makes sense that it might be coming because Father Gabriel's on his own.
Yeah, he's on his own. He killed that. We ended the life of that
he's
Reaper.
Looking for Maggie, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to make his way towards Meridian. You think the Pope's going to kill a man of the cloth?
I don't think...
Even if he's part of that group, do you think Pope's going to kill the man of the cloth? No freaking
probably
way.
Not. No. He would try to convert him into his...
Dude...
Well, he already has... I don't know if that one guy was a father. Remember the guy who was kind of praying over the dead Reaper? He was kind of maybe his guy, but those three talking would be awesome.
Well, yeah. You're right. So he technically does have a man of cloth.
Right. But
in his eyes,
he'd love to get another one, right?
Yeah, man, that'd be sweet to get that conversation.
It'd be really sweet, yeah. It was a really good episode, guys. We're super excited for the next episode. I think next episode 5, we're definitely going to be getting a lot of back and forth between Maggie and Negan. We're going to be getting the Commonwealth. We're going back to Alexandria. It's going
to be all
Aaron
over the place.
Carol. Yeah, it's going to be all over the place next episode from the synopsis. So let us know what your thoughts were of this episode with the Pope, Daryl, Leah, the Reaper's ideology, and do you still feel that we are kind of on on the same page that we probably won't be getting the Reapers out of this first part? With 15 of them, it might be ending soon.
I just see a final battle coming towards the end of the season.
A big one, yeah. So let us know what you think. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. And stay tuned for our episode 5 reaction coming later this week. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation. We're out.